William Taylor Reil has been intently studying and researching constitutional law, particularly Pennsylvania history and law. He's a graduate of the Virginia Polytechnic Institute and is retired from a career in electrical engineering, data communication systems, and marketing. Since 1990, Mr. Reil has been staunchly defending the individual rights of himself and has developed others to do the same through litigation, education, writings, and lawful activism. He helped establish the Pennsylvania Committee of Correspondence in the 90s, and some of you might know the Pennsylvania Patriot Press, which was a newspaper published by the group. Mr. Reil has been active in various other grassroots organizations, and he works directly with legislators to help return our government to within its lawful boundaries.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here, and it looks like the weather's going to stay off and we can enjoy the afternoon. As Lisa said, it's been a pleasure for almost 20 years getting to know about Pennsylvania history and law. We are blessed here in Pennsylvania with a rich history. You may recall that William Penn came to Pennsylvania and started a holy experiment. And if you haven't been to Harrisburg, to the Capitol, and been to the governor's outer office, I encourage you to do that. The artwork there is remarkable in the story of William Penn's life. In 1682, William Penn founded Pennsylvania and formed it by having a Declaration of Rights and a frame of government. It might surprise you that portions of that law still exist in Pennsylvania law today. And in fact, when you look at the state constitution, there are many parts, particularly in the Declaration of Rights, which are quoted directly from those laws. What we have is an opportunity. Maybe many of you don't realize that the state constitutions came first, right? Pennsylvania was formed in 1776. In fact, September 28th was the day. And the reason we have this rally today is to celebrate that day. Couldn't make it on the 28th because that's not on the weekend, so the 26th is the closest we could get. Now, most people celebrate Constitution Day on September 17th, right? And that's for the federal Constitution, though I don't understand why. Because on September 17th, 1787, the Congress sent out the document, was signed on that day, to the colonies, actually the 13 states, that had been formed in 1776. And so it was a great document. And it certainly has withstood the test of time. Thank you. But it was not ratified by New Hampshire, was the 9th state, the required state, until June 21st, 1788. And didn't go into effect until March the 4th, 1789. And what I read history, we celebrate the formation of America, the federal government, in 1789. And then, of course, the Bill of Rights was ratified in December 15th, 1791. So why do we celebrate on the 17th the federal Constitution? Well, in 1939, an effort was started to have a Citizens' Day. And a small town in Ohio decided to celebrate that and push for a Constitution Day. And Citizen Day was adopted in 1952. And in 2004, it was changed to celebrate the federal Constitution. So we're setting on a path to try to start celebrating Pennsylvania Constitution Day. Because, frankly, that's the right day to celebrate in September. If you think about what we have here in this state, you just need to pick up the state constitution. I hope all of you have done that. If you haven't, get a copy from the state senator. In fact, get many copies and hand them out. Because in this document, particularly if you look at the Declaration of Rights, you'll find out that even though the government wants to do a lot of things that are unconstitutional, the solution rests in the true rule of law. And what is the supreme law of the land? Constitution. The Constitution. In the state, most things are controlled by the state constitution, as it is in all other states. The federal government originally had very little authority, didn't it? In fact, it's clearly delineated what those powers are in Article 1, Section 8 of the federal Constitution. There are approximately 18 powers. And yet today, through a whole lot of trickery by certain attorneys and certain judges and certain professors of law, our Constitution has been so widely expanded, that is the federal government's alleged power, it's hard to recognize it. So if we were to focus on the constitutions and demand that those in government always follow them, I think we'd be a lot happier. In fact, that's an effort that we need to work on. And that is, everyone in government takes an oath at the state level. It's Article 6, Section 3 of the Pennsylvania Constitution. And it says, I do solemnly swear or affirm to support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and to discharge the duties of my office with fidelity. It's also interesting to note that in Article 2, Section 15, it says that legislators are exempt from arrest except for treason, felony, violations of oath of office, and breach of surety of the peace. The problem is, where do we get somebody to arrest them? I've tried. It doesn't work.